Welcome back, children, to another episode of the merry adventures of kindly Cheng and Sidewinder. What trouble will they get up to today? Mission terminal here. Curious what this restaurant job is. The things I've learned over the years is that even the rich and powerful have annoyances, thorns in their side, if you will. No one is without troubles, the rich just have different ways of solving them. The client for this run has grown tired of one particular thorn in his side. Ching Sing Rooster Low. Low is a red pole for one of the smaller triads here in Hong Kong, 289s, or the Easy Money Gang, if you prefer. Despite 289's small stature, Low's illegal activities has managed to damage the client's profits. Mr. Johnson would like you to help show Low the error of his ways. Low takes an evening every few months to dine at the Shangri-La restaurant in Aberdeen. If you aren't aware, the Shangri-La is an elite establishment serving primarily corporate clientele from Muxing Incorporated. Because of this, it's unusual for diners to bring bodyguards or assistants with them. In Low's case, he brings a particularly brutish enforcer known as the Talon, and undoubtedly feels well protected. We're going to prove just how wrong he is in this regard. You are to kidnap Rooster Low. So long as he is alive and in relatively good health, all options are on the table. Keeping him quiet would make things easier for Mr. Johnson. No one will shed too many tears of the few dead triad thugs. The client has arranged an exit via boat. So long as you get Low from the interior of the restaurant's dock, the client will handle everything else. Despite being a red pole, Low is a tactician, not a fighter. Don't expect him to put much of a fight. The Talon, on the other hand, is as nasty as they come. Be careful about how you confront him, or things may go very badly. Let the client know you've accepted the job. At the time you arrive at Shangri-La, the boat to get you out will be waiting.
Hey, sailor.
Two people, possibly locals, are busily hunched over, avidly discussing something beneath their breath. From the looks of them, they appear to be sailors, rough-hewn clothes, sustained by salt, leathery skin, and acute awareness of being on land. You watch their feet shuffle awkwardly on the docks. Now I asked Crafty, she said the same. Them dreams is bad. Think we'll lose them at sea? We're supposed to set out as soon as they make delivery, so they follow us. Hey, I don't think so. Crafty said the thing's just affecting us here for now. As soon as we set sail, dreams will stop. Hey! The third sailor sees you and taps her friends on their arms. They shoot upright. One examines his fingernails, another coughs loudly and begins to hum. The last pretends she didn't see you. But when they sense your continued stare, the third speaks up. What are you looking at, Landy? Some of the dreams, bad them too. Seems anyone who comes by these parts is having them. As soon as they leave, the dreams stop. Right eerie it is. And these are why they're happening? We don't know much ourselves. We've only returned from last delivery with the dreams. They ambushed us fast enough. How about that Crafty? She runs 5 phases, smart girl. You might a thing or two about the blight. You ask her and she might have something to say. Thanks for the heads up, folks. See that troll chick that was up here? I'm sitting on some cash here. I wonder if there's any cool level of cyberware I can have installed. He's always been telling optimizing apples and tells the user physical attributes. And throw grenades back at them? That's pretty cool. Regenerate 6 HP per round, last 3 rounds, costs 1 AP. Okay, so it's not like a passive regeneration type thing. State-of-the-art Cyber. I like the sound of that. Good way to blow 100 million. Chalk hand. Stun attacks. You want to shake hands on the deal if they pull a Joker on you? Tailored pheromones. Just want to smell real pretty. Where's that go? What goes in your skin slot? Gross. Thanks, Ambrose. Put these eyes to good use. I don't think I should take the Gaichu on this one either, because you know what I didn't do? I think I got I need some medical stuff, the auto docs. Medical supplies, please, sir. To a fancy restaurant, and we can't have Gaichu eating people's faces. Angle of marine decorum, restless lights, and ambrosial scents mingle atop a floating way to accent Shangri-La, Aberdeen Harbor's premier dining location. Competitive views of the surrounding bay, the restaurant attracts a steady crowd of tourists and wuxing personnel. Primary menu man for 8 nines. Young sing Rooster Low is enjoying rare meal outside of tribal territory. Intel says he's set up in the restaurant's private dining rooms, but he's not alone. Rooster keeps a personal bodyguard, notorious orc called the Talon, in addition to his regular security detail. You've seen photos of the Talon's handiwork, bodies so battered it's hard to tell where one bruise ends and the next begins. Your mission: locate Rooster, extract him from Shangri-La, deliver him to your client alive. Simple, fast, low profile. Of course, simplest runs can go sideways. Okay, they do have another auto dog frame at least. Enjoy your fire elemental. The spell slot for the spell slot. Stepping into the interior hallway of Shangri-La, you're confronted by a massive wall of troll, the restaurant's front door security. Speaks with surprising elocution. Welcome to Shangri-La. We strive to provide your patrons with an exquisite dining experience. If you have any questions or require special accommodations, don't hesitate to speak to their staff. We got my pick of tables. Sorry, this is not seat yourself establishment. If you choose where you sit, I suggest you make a reservation for one of the private rooms upstairs. Please keep in mind that any disturbance will be promptly de-escalated by our security. We reserve the right to our service to unruly patrons. Thank you and enjoy your meal. Notice your security is a bit light tonight. You sure you have enough guards to deal with bigger disturbances? The puff of his chest and shake of his shoulders, the troll assumes a more aggressive posture. His face remains a mask of neutrality despite the obvious irritation in his voice. Wuxing prides itself on having world-class security personnel. You do well to remember that the best kind of security is often hidden from sight. Pretty hard not to see that guy. Crab was truly amazing. I just wouldn't have to wait an hour to get it. Waitress swans orders and we're back. Oh, welcome to Shangri-La, sir. Just see you as soon as she gets back. You're welcome to wait in the lounge. Alright, thanks. So, Henry, what are you doing here? Bulger's man sits alone at the bar, elbows propped atop the counter. His face is hard, eyes blank. He swirls the contents of half-empty glass as if in stupor. Between his swollen eyes and whiskey double, it isn't hard to guess his mood. As you approach, he rubs his temples and graces you with a lazy, sideways glance, almost under his breath. And I can dig myself any deeper. Tough day. Huh? Looks at you. He comes with dull, bloodshot eyes, but his gaze drifts elsewhere before returning to his drink. Lost 2 contacts, missed the 3rd, late for meeting, and publicly shamed by my coworker. All during the 9 to 5 new record, as far as I can tell. He takes a long pull from his glass, exhales. At least I got that going for me. How'd you lose your contacts? Wish I knew. One of them was almost a done deal, but for some reason the client suddenly changed their tune. The contract slipped away before I could officially close it. The other 2 contracts were ongoing clients, people I worked for years, but somehow I forgot about their annual renewal date, and a more diligent coworker picked them up. I get no credit for the long-term partnership with those clients, if anything, and now look worse for losing them, after I bought them the Wuxing in the first place. Weary growing in Greek's alcohol. Like too many coincidences to me, things I was working against you. Kidding me? Everyone's at each other's throats in this business. Downs a drink, signals the bartender, and a signal limit. The bartender leans over and refills the glass. Fair? Someone who would have you benefited most from what's happening to you. So there's this newcomer, David, and he nods his head toward the group at the end of the bar, and off at the center. Him. He came out of nowhere and has become a rock star with upper management. He's been making connections and deals like a Wuxing veteran, like me. Well, that's odd. You're telling me, you wanna know what I think? Leans in, glassy eyes looking through to who knows where the scent of booze wafts off him. I think you get family connections, people in high places, and he's been using them to his advantage. Bex often shrugs, rocking precariously on his chair. I don't know, just a thought. Might be onto something. Grant shares and goes, no, just wishful thinking. I'm gonna find out. Open program tracking food orders and their respective tables flickers steadily on the computer screen. Served from Morocco, Shangri-La restaurant. Andrew's notice. Language typical wage slave directives as here, there's a few mentions curtailing recreational activities in storage rooms and on outer decks. One can only infer the meaning of said activities. Further down, a note on red expressly warns that the special guest on the floor 2 should only be served by approved wait staff only. If the guest orders are botched again, there will be significant and widespread consequences for all servers involved. Servers notes. So the file notes on guests and the restaurant's operations. To scroll through today's notes, several servers have written about their concerns regarding tonight's lack of security, and a couple are frustrated with the curious guests wandering up to the second floor's private dining rooms. The rest is useless information. Orders. Look for private dining rooms. Note on the second floor stands out. Floor 2, private room 3, party of 5, VIP. Seafood buffet, wine sampler, crab raincoat, Shangri-La, surf and turf. No prawns. Avoid cross-contamination, shellfish, I know it's allergic. Okay. The aroma spices and bombard your senses as if cooks moves the kitchen and sent churns in their wake. Some sharp, some sweet, some altogether unfamiliar, but all delicious. If barks an order, resistant, searing fish, then whirls around, muttering feverishly to himself. He stops and notices you standing in his kitchen. Tell them I need an extra server, now elbow, shoot, gestures at the door, and returns to tasting and rare sauces. Okay, Collins there's a shelf which Neri finds himself guiding his boss in the place to serve the best shelf of all hung. Fortunate future. We got one from this waitress. Summon Mr. Lowe. He has a reservation here tonight. Sorry not to know that name. But a hard-working waitress like yourself is good with faces. You certainly remember this man. He travels with a big orc with a nasty scar on his cheek. Fiddles to scratch. Add an Isaac Plenteous orders scrawled across the top page. After a moment of consideration, she speaks. I may know the orc if he's what I'm thinking of. He only comes around a couple of times a year. I've never served him. I've only heard he gets real pushy with the other waiters. Pushy, huh? Why's that? He's allergic to shellfish, I think. So many orders, sometimes mistakes are made. Fear flashed across his face. I didn't just say that. I can assure your service is second to that. I must have heard about the orc while we're eating, since you make sure allergy doors get to the right place. So this is Shangri-La. We have 24 private dining rooms in addition to our main dining floor. As already said, I serve out here. Your friend is in any of our other rooms. Oh, excuse me, I need to place his orders in your email. Well, we already know from the computer, don't we? We can pass the charisma check or do that. There's that. Sorry for there is office. This is Wuxing employee patio reserved for Wuxing customers and guests. General public's not admitted. When you head back to the table, there's ample seating room in the main dining room. Thank you. Oh, guess, said the chef. Out. Certainly speak that chef. That was intelligent boy and wipes his hands from himself. I'm head chef. A little time to cook my food and even less for conversation. Questions. Take a minute. Gives me a shellfish out of it, less than mannered orc. Sound familiar? This polite way to put it, getting so many cooks broken ribs and mashing a set of black eyes last time he stormed my kitchen. Has to know that orc. Got a shellfish allergy he's overly keen on hounding us about. As though this wasn't the top seafood restaurant in the 6th world. Mistakes happen. Sometimes you reach for a mushroom and accidentally grab an oyster. Maybe such an accident happens to work, if I know what I'm saying. What? Balks your suggestion or a moment's recovery. He looks you straight. Also straight. You can't possibly say what I think you are. You want me to poison the diner? You're deranged. I'm calling security. Just your hand to slip an extra ingredient. Chef nervously brings a towel before his hands, stares sumptuous plates of food, just waiting to be eaten. Glance over his shoulder, shake his head. He smiles, a small, wry thing. You know, never appreciated our cuisine. Our art, I think, is special. Thanks, sir. It's an order. See yourselves out, won't you? Oh, I will. Alright, so we have Poison the Talon. The narrow bar stool offers little in the way of comfort. A quick look around reveals the disparity between the restaurant proper and the bar, the latter of which appears to neglect in comparison to the pristine dining room. Old dry drink, rings dapple, and the counter's uneven surface. Angry scratches are now slaked. We've got time to kill before the rooster arrives, and good as spot as any to wait. You don't appear inconspicuous, so I'll grab a drink and wait. Be quiet as you mull over a cold one, Rooster, to be here any time now. Armed waiter, tousled uniform stumbles. Chef, we have a problem. A big problem. Got the drama cork, mage. We're working here. Not for long. Let's get you on a couple of prawns ending up in New York's dish. Worse than allergy is his temper, and he's on his way down here. A howl and several thumps catch the cooking staff attention. Apprehensive glances are tossed around the kitchen, and fear abruptly confirmed as a huge orc bursts in the room. A jagged scar on the orc's cheek matches your client's description of the Talon. Or would, if the Talon's face were in a lumpy, swollen, seeping mess. Ha ha ha, look at it. Talon's face flushes in anger, perhaps as a side effect of his allergy, and he raises a knobby finger to a room. What is wrong with this place? Swollen lips spit more saliva than sounds. Excuse me, sir. Both in kitchen. If you have any questions or concerns, speak to our host up front. We've got a concern, alright. Concern regarding this shithouse you call a restaurant. This is the third time you slopheads have fucked up my order. If I'm regularly forced to choke down your garbage, I expect at least some substitutions to be followed. No, shellfish. Get it right. Next time someone's gonna end up in a whole lot worse than maimed. You call me short-fused. Maybe now you'll think twice before ragging on me when things heat up. I will never stop ragging on you, Duncan. Hey, if the Talon's down here, that means left the upstairs room unguarded. Great. Goldie's distracted. Any cash laying around I can get as compensation for the bribe. For the private dining room, immediately greeted by the piercing stare of two massive dragon statues. The flickering lights are bright enough to illuminate their bronze bodies, effect an eerie illusion of slithering scales. Across the room stands your target, Cheng Rooster Low. Hands trembling at his sides, a single, anxious guard stands near the door. Something has them on edge. Talon is missing. Sweat drips down Rooster's gaunt face. His eyes dart back and forth across the room, trying to size you up, assess the situation without support. He appears to be nothing more than a trapped rooster. Without his talons, is defenseless. And in an effort to invoke a sense of authority, raises his voice. Who are you? What do you want? If you'll please come with me, if we can make this easy, and if you don't try to argue, you're in a poor position to tell him missing. Anger flash. How dare you speak to me as if I were a child? Sue, where's the Talon? Where's the rest of my security? Second passed as well as I scour the room for someone, anyone, to come to his aid. Never you mind. Just get the street tramp out of here. Talon, a backup all alone? You must really like your boss. Said Rooster. Oh no, not exactly, no. Slowly back toward the door, Perfect. You can have him. Good boy. No, wait! Spare my life, I beg you, please. Drops of spit splattered his mouth, his desperation obvious. So I was going to take you alive to make me change my mind. It's in Seattle. We have Rooster, but these stiffs were probably just a handful of his guards. He could have more downstairs. We just can't leave the same way we came in. If we're gonna get out of here in one piece, we need to find a new exit route fast. I'm betting this chicken guy knows one. So, how about it? Where's the door you used to discreetly make your way in here? Rooster's teeth are clattering inside his head. He frame shake uncontrollably. Realization he's at your mercy is no enough to defend us setting in. With the back doors, like keep your teeth. Stammers incoherent for a moment, but his words just soon catch up with him. Just outside this room to the right, but it's locked. You have the key, don't you? He's confused. His mind slowly processing implication. Yes, I do. His coat pocket throws a small key. Going to... What was that? Protect some Rooster low from all harm. Calmly clicks, averts the static, and the sound clears to reveal a soft voice. Sidewinder. Is this your channel? Who's asking? Name's P. Lawn. I'm your getaway driver. We have details discussed. Let's keep this brief. Time's ticking. The burst of static continues. I'm at the loading docks across the bridge from restaurant's main entrance. Spiegel's schooner. Can't miss me. But neither will HKPF, who have just learned are on their way here in response to a security call. That would be fun. One last thing, I may be the driver, but this ain't my rig. Door's locked, I don't know the codes, may have to break in. Well, I can get moving. More dry gangster's pocket bath. Man, help me! The words are pouring of Rooster's mouth so quickly they blur together. You free me, get me away from here, and I guarantee you'll be rewarded. Million, favors, power, whatever you want. Two guards exchange looks and turn back to Rooster smiling. Actually, like in the position we're in now, you begging at our feet. Idea that maybe you're gone, we can move up the chain. You know, Rocco, there's plenty of qualified to take your seat. In fact, we might make sure you don't make it out of here alive. Looks up at them irate. His fury fizzles upon spotting Tug's various and ample gutlery. No, why I can make you rich, You two are looking to get hurt. If you're make no suits. One of them runners? Should have run, let them take off with Rooster. You know. Hopefully they don't pull some shenanigans with getting us from the back. Okay. Are you even trying? I mean, really. Blood. Can't even go up there. Allow me to poke around like an idiot for a bit. What's this? Talon burst out of Shangri-La, nearly tearing the doors from their hinges. Despite the fleshy lumps that have transformed his face into an unreadable swollen mess, his rage is clear. Inside the Talon, you see Rooster's body relax, his voice cracks. Talon, I'm over here, I've got weapons trained on me, can't move. Save me, and we'll get out of here. Incident straight to the top, they'll herald our survival, reward us. Leaking eyes, the Talon homes in on the Rooster. You little shit, drag me to this restaurant over and over, make me eat filth, or watch you stuff your goddamn face full of it, and now, here you are, turned traitor and blink. Rooster is trembling with fear or anger, both. He raises a finger and points at Talon. You can't speak to me that way. You're beneath me. You're still a red pole. When the Triad comes for me, you'll see you flayed for those words. Ha! You won't get shit from the 289s. In fact, if your new allies don't get you, the Triad will. Make sure you don't go squawking to anybody about high-level plans or secrets or whatever. A fleet like you won't last the night. Rooster's fake bravado melts away. Eyes wide, he looks desperately around him. Trapped in a mouse, the snake's coil. Enemies on each side, his voice is pleading. Talon, Johnny. Please help me. It wasn't all bad, right? We had some good runs, you remember? I had no choice, Johnny. I was forced to surrender. But if you could help me, get out of here, I can see to it you're rewarded, even promoted. How'd you like that? Those hesitation, the Talon takes a step forward and spits on the ground. To hell with you, you spineless bit pusher. I'll bet you didn't even put up a fight. Just rolled over and played the captive, coward. I'm going to enjoy putting a bullet in your soft, worthless skull. Managed to dodge one for once. How about that, eh? Just remember we can't use her because she's jacked in. Good shot, if I don't say so myself. Oh joy. Two, 5, 2, 8, 1, 8. 7, 6, 2, 5, 6. 3, 9, 7, 3, 6. 9, 8, 4, 3, 5, 2. 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 5. 6, 8, 2, 7, 6, 1, 5. That's oh shit. This one?
Damn it, damn it.
1, 3, 1, 5. 5, 7, 5, 3. 3, 34426. 72824. 137618. 733579. 383879. Got it. Well, that's for a restaurant schedule. Can you believe it? Ah! Never fails. I wish Canada had the best. Battlefind the most annoyance. I don't like this check. I could do the grenade launcher. Alright, she's out of the way. No. 56. Healer. Come on, Sidewinder, get your new side ride. You should be able to one-shot all this. This once, twice. A little bit. Completely overshot the area, but okay. Monsoon! How do you miss? It's almost time to escape my boat. Lame. Doesn't matter what party, they're just gonna keep. A little bit dangerous for her, but oh well. Wow, that was effective, wasn't it? I forgive you for missing, actually, because you just did that much good a job. Can I actually get out of here now, dear? That goes for both of yous. Alright, if she's in the game, we can start making some headway. There's a kill! Booyah. Pray and pray on him, I guess. Giggity. Good enough, good enough. Excuse me, I just healed that. Same. Awesome. You, sir, can put my full cover if you don't mind. Boat sways languidly atop the water, insulated walls stifle outside noises, as if the chaos just beyond the door belonged to another world. Its interior is cramped, made smaller by maritime equipment protruding from the walls. The scent of the sea and moldering wood dominates your senses, ripened from years of perfunctory cleaning. Finally, a safe place to rest. Brewster flinches at your approach when he speaks. He tries to sound confident, but his voice cracks. The 289s are going to jam you up for this. Got it with the other day, someone's probably nabbed your job by now. Hey, read the manual, it's good for you. Clap your trap, chicken man. Grunts in frustration. Can this schooner go any slower? I want to get paid already. There's a cinnamon bun stall and kite pack with my name on it. Hang in there. Boat heaves and pitches over the bay as your driver plows through the choppy waves to the drop-off point, leaving Shangri-La Restaurant far behind. Inside, the restlessness fills the cabin. You finish the job, your extraction was a success. Now your client awaits his prize, the tried Red Pool Rooster. It wasn't easy. It would have been, if that damn Talon had mangled your plans with his visceral determination. Even a street-forged orc like Talon could be stricken down. The Talon dead, you escaped the restaurant, and getaway boat was made smoother. Well, as smooth as wading through a small army of triads and skirting the HKPF dragnet could be. Luckily, Rooster got through the pursuit unharmed, and with the Talon now permanently out of commission, you might earn a few extra new yen from your client. All in all, a good run. Love and Karma. Quickness. I want to get another point of charisma because I was failing those checks earlier. Hello. Money, 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 money. Submit the job is finished and await client's response. A few moments later, a message pops up onto the screen. 1600. Client is pleased with how you handled the situation. Mr. Lowe has been very contrite and forthcoming due to no small part to the violence from which you handled the opposition. You've even earned a little extra for taking out the Talon. Payment is attached. From the Cheng. First time since you got to Hong Kong, you wake up feeling well rested and satisfied. Flexing your limbs feels glorious, as though you've spent hours cramped up in a confined space. You can finally stretch your legs. Push yourself up and touch your feet to the ground if something stops you short. Your mouth. Something is wrong with your mouth. Tongue of your teeth? Let your tongue move your teeth and you find a real problem. Molar on the upper left side. It feels strange. You apply a little pressure to your tooth and it slides free from moorings. As nothing was ever holding it in place to begin with. As the tooth comes free in your hand, an image etches itself in your mind. A great chamber, hazy in form and outline, clouds of red mist that fill the air, perfuming it with salt and copper. Great columns stretching up from the ground to pierce the sky, and above it all, the enormous grinding gears of a broken machine. In the distance, you hear a sound, a desperate, frantic pounding. Something enormous at the door, many somethings, all desperate to get in. scrabbing and scratching and scraping, but unable to find purchase. The way in is locked. You feel a tremendous sense of accomplishment. You've done it. The others are trapped outside, blind and starving, unable to pass through the door. The chamber lies beyond are yours. A shrill giggling noise fills the air, like the laughter of a small child mixed with shivering screech of countless violins. The sound reverberates down your spine like an electric current. The intoxicating aroma of meat fills your nostrils. You have been starving for 1,000 years. Soon it will be time to feed. Just like that, it's over. The image's fate is fading like vapor. Only the tooth in your hand remains. I have a tooth? Oh, that's right. I get supposed to pay that. How silly of me. How did Duncan feel about that? Actually, it wasn't bad. I made a little doing undercover work for the Star. I had to go in a fancy restaurant, do some legwork, blend in, and then take a bad son of a bitch into custody and motor off in a speedboat. Made me feel like a little like Detective Dirk Chappell from Bounty Hawks. Watch that show on the Trid? Did I get cancelled with seasoning? Network didn't have a chance. Kept airing episodes out of order and moving the time slot around. Should have had a longer run. Anyway, in all seriousness, it went as well as I can imagine a run going. But we get talent out of the way, so that's good. We need a bad son of a bitch like that coming back after us later. I don't chase. Doesn't always feel it. Are you talking taking people out like that? But definitely feels like the smart thing to do. Anyway, enough with that. Anything else? I wonder how much your decisions affect game later on. Like we let those other people take the laser that we stole. Will that benefit us later? Know what you're doing? Last run, pretty simple. The instigator get in, now the guy get out. As I've taken many jobs straightforward, there's something kind of refreshing with having upper hand. Over tried Red Bull, even if he's like a small-time outfit like the 289s. It was fun, I admit it. So glad I've put down the talent. I know a lot of people back in the Walled City, that kind of psychotic bullies would torture protection racket victims even if they were going to pay, just to prove who was in charge. Other kinds of people of word effort. Want to know. Gobbit! Gobbit! Oh, Bull Soldier has been shaping up the past few days. All the work Phil's been putting into it, just feel like a real home. Anyway, enough about the boat. Next lesson, I just want to chat. What is my next lesson? That's good. I was hoping you'd want to keep going with this. It's good for you. I'm kind of enjoying it too. Oops. Here comes the look face, and later she turns her attention back to you. Alright, this is going to be another long story, so I'm thinking we gotta take it in chunks. If you've got any questions, you can ask them along the way, and if you need to take a break, we come back to it. Sound good? Sounds good. Good, so last time I told you about the event that brought me to the illustrious career as a subcontractor. This time, I'm going to tell you about the run that I went on with my regular team. Nightmare's team? No. This was long before I hooked up with them. Iz was still learning to deck back then. She was good for her age, but wasn't ready for her prime time, and it'd be another couple of years before I'd meet Nightjar or Auntie Cheng. You don't know anyone from the group that I'm talking about. They're all gone now anyway. Had a rough career, haven't you? Yeah, I guess I have. But I'm still alive. That's something. Puts me ahead of other runners I've known. Because the matter is, as runners, dying on the job is occupational hazard. For disposable assets, I shouldn't come as a surprise when we get used up and tossed away. It was the same way in the Barrens here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, I know how it is. People die. It's sad, but there's no sense moping about it. Let me build the team we're running with. Sure, she extends a hand so you can count off teammates on her fingers. Madness scurries down her sleeve and purchase on her forearm. Art Muscle was a Hawaiian Jew with poor impulse control. Big round guy with lumberjack arms and ringlets in his hair. He called himself Hanu. I guess he loved turtles. I don't know, street names are weird. We had tech specialist Egret. She was tall, gawky, dyed her hair bone white. She had a drone named Arlo that followed around like a lost puppy. She was kind of jack of all trades, but she could get the job done. Fun at parties, too. Our de facto team leader was a guy named Sui. He was a wiry troll, if you can imagine that. Probably about 2% body fat, all skin and bones. Walked with a hunch to make himself look smaller. He was a shaman, followed a rat like me. I was like an interesting group of people. It was, but then everyone I've worked with has been interesting in his own way. As a rule, Shadowrunning is a profession that attracts boring people. How'd you meet this group of yours? They're mutual friends. We actually lived together before we decided to start running as a team. There was this floating squatters commune out in Hong Hong Bay, probably still out there actually. I haven't been back in a long time, but I spent a few years living on the thing. The rest of the team lived there with me. Lived on, what, raft? Yeah, basically, we called it the sinking ship. It wasn't much to look at. Just a bunch of shipping containers that bolted together to a great big floating brick. It was the most comfortable place I've ever lived. Price was right and the company was good. Okay, I think I'm gonna grasp on the team dynamic. Keep going. Alright, moving on. So, day one, Sui bought us a job. Met a client in Victoria Harbour Bar, a rich Eastern Tiger exec. Guy wants us to steal something for him, a shiny object. She raises her hands. I know, it's stupid, right? But that was how Johnson described it to us, the shiny object. That was what he wanted us to get. He never gave it any other name. Alright, so what did the client tell you about this thing? He gave us physical description. We were supposed to look for a chunk of red jade, about the size and shape of an ostrich egg. The mirror polished surface and gold wire inlays. He said that it had paper charms hanging off of it, food talismans, Taoist sorcery stuff. We weren't supposed to touch those. The client also told us about shiny objects, then owner, an old hedge wizard turned entrepreneur named Kong Zuyan. We were supposed to steal a crystal ball from a wizard, essentially. You boil it down like that, it kind of sounds silly, doesn't it? But hey, that's the world we live in, and like I said, Zuyan wasn't just a wizard, he was an entrepreneur, a business wizard. The guy had resources. From what we were told, the old man was keeping shiny object in one of his warehouses. He had a bunch of them. He built himself a nice little empire, selling magical paraphernalia through puppet vendors in the Waya night market. Supposedly a good fifth of the stalls in that place were on Zuyan's payroll. Gotta keep going. So, we cased the warehouse for a couple of nights before the run, you know? Did some recon, took some notes. From what we'd seen, we were pretty sure that Zuyan was keeping our payday in the vault area at the very back of the building. Security was pretty heavy, though he was paying a local triad for protection, and he kept a lot of their boys on staff. We was the one who came up with the plan. We'd split up outside and into the warehouse in 2 teams. Team A would create a diversion, Team B would hit the vault, while security was looking the other way. We'd grab a payday, regroup, and get the hell out of there. Seems straightforward enough how it would work out. Rising the well up to a point. Team A, Hano and Egret circled around the loading dock, just like we'd planned. Sui and I waited at the service entrance. We didn't have to wait long. A couple of minutes in, we heard this ungodly crash, then another and another. As it turns out, Egret had rigged into Zuion's network of automated forklifts. She had 6 of them running amok in the loading dock, chasing down workers and crashing themselves in anything marked fragile. Sounds like a good time. I know, right? I wish I could have been there to see it. Egret's distraction did what it was supposed to. As Sui and I watched, most of the Triad guys at the service entrance abandoned their posts and went hauling off toward the loading dock. A couple of guys with baseball bats stayed back, but we handled them easily enough. We slipped inside and made a beeline for the back of the warehouse, where a shiny object was supposed to be. Let me guess, something went wrong. No, actually, it was there, just like we thought it'd be. The door was open and everything. The shiny object was sitting there in a teak cradle, gleaming with reflected light, just like the client had said. It had a ring of Sawit's talismans hanging off of it, like a grass skirt, the paper all crinkled with age. We didn't waste any time. I reacted it and grabbed the thing. It felt strange through my gloves. The jade sort of pulsed, as if I had a heartbeat. Sounds ominous. Yeah, tell me about it. I wanted to drop the thing, but it was our payday, so I slipped it into my satchel instead. I couldn't get the flap closed quickly enough, the package being secure. Sui and I turned to hightail out of there. Things went to shit. I'd have to do something unpredictable? No, not shiny object. Old man Leon. He was standing there, right in front of us, larger than life. I'm guessing that when he heard the commotion on the loading dock, he came running, well, waddling, make sure his treasure was safe. As it turns out, it wasn't because I'd already stolen the thing. He looked displeased. What'd you do? What do you think we did? We had our backs to a wall. Let that old bastard up. Pretty epic, truth be told. Spirits were summoned, spirits were discharged. The vault doors sealed behind Zuion like something out of a movie. At one point, the old man leapt onto Zui's back and tried to bite his ear off. I won't bore you with play-by-play of how we fight went down. In the end, we crushed him. Fortunately, the fighting had caused some collateral damage. At some point during our showdown with Zuion, the control panel for the vault must have eaten an arc of lightning, or the blast of Powerball was toast, all black and melted. Neither of us could fix it. Were you trapped in the vault? That was the size of it, and it was only a matter of time before the old man's remaining security guys found us there. There was still one way out, the ventilation duct, up high in the rafters, but it was too small for Sui to fit through. He was a troll, after all. The shiny object, but if I left Sui there and security got to him, well, you do the math. So here's the conundrum. I've got our payday in the satchel, the team is split, it's inevitable, the more Triad 49ers are going to find us, but we don't know when or how many. Egret and Hanu are holding their own at the loading dock for now. I can stay with Sui to help fight off the inevitable wave of Triad 49ers, but we'll be badly outmatched, like badly. The odds of survival won't look good for either of us. If Egret weren't pinned down by the loading dock, she could probably get the vault door open, but in order to get to her, I'll have to leave Sui alone in the vault. If Zuion's reinforcements find Sui before I get back with Egret, well, use their thumb to draw a line across her neck. It's a scenario, Seattle. A lot to work with, I know. Tell me, what should I do? I don't know, I wasn't even paying attention here. Yeah, I'll go over here to find out the best chance of success. Could have done that, I guess. Might have worked, of course. Could have gotten Sweet Gun down in a vault too, but in retrospect, that would have been a huge loss. Wouldn't have been a huge loss. Anyway, that wasn't what I did. I saw what I thought could be a way to save the day, so I went ahead and took it. I fished the shiny object out of my bag. I still remember how the Taoist talismans that rang the thing crinkled in my hands. I remember shrugging, saying, "To hell with it," put the thing in Sweet's bare hands, and told him to go nuts. It's almost like Sweet had been waiting for me to pass him the thing. He seemed eager to take it. He hugged the chunk of rock to his chest like a newborn baby. Color swam on the stone, and something changed in his eyes. Then old man Zuyan's 49ers breached the door, and Sweet unleashed hell. She pauses, frowning, stops scratching folly, and uses a hand to rub her eyes. Finally, she turns back to you, sour what pitches her figures. What went down in that room? Well, I've only seen that kind of carnage a couple of times in my life, and I've been running shadows for years. Those triad men were torn to scraps by the end of it. I don't think I'll ever forget the sounds they made. Clears her throat, I spent most of the fight huddled up in the corner for my own safety. But Sweet let loose and the stone didn't seem terribly interested in discriminating between friend and foe. What do you mean by that? Do you summon hostile spirits or something? Something like that. Truth be told, I don't know what they were. As I said, I was hiding. But he couldn't have done it without the shiny object, not in a million years. Whatever they were, the rock brought them here. What happened then? She shrugs. We waited for things to calm down in the vault, and for things to go slithering away. I think Sweet had some limited control over them, which is why they didn't eat us. After they were gone, Sweet gave me the shiny object, put in my satchel, and we bailed. We collected the others on the way out. They were blissfully ignorant of what happened the other side of the warehouse, and they didn't see a reason to change that. We hightailed it back to the docks and caught the first boat, the sinking ship. Mission accomplished. It's away again, stares off into space. From what I've told, people still avoid Zuyan's warehouse like the plague. It's supposed to be haunted. Even to this day, people who set foot in the building keep turning up dead. Pretty sure I'm the only one living people who knows why. Hopefully your body language changes. Anyway, that's it. Lesson's over. If you got any questions, go ahead. Oh, what's the moral of the story? I'm trying to find a moral here. There was, when I started telling it, I thought it was going to tell you to be comfortable with breaking the rules. I don't think I'm going to say that now, though. I'm not feeling it anymore. Why not? At least you're not your teammate of this run of life. They didn't stay that way for long. But let's leave that for next time, huh? I don't want to get into it just now. I'm telling you, the sinking ship. Yeah, sure, the story's over, you can get into it. I moved on the sinking ship when I was just a kid. I think I was 12, maybe 13 years old at the time. In the beginning, it was just me and a couple of rat shaman friends, Cadmus and Melvina. They were older, they were always cool to me. Let's build a raft. No way. Cadmus probably could have, but he didn't. Melvina appropriated it from its former owners. There was a team of Shadowrunners that had lived on the thing before us, but they bidded on the job. Cad and Mel heard the knock of opportunity, and they claimed the raft for Rat in record time. Taking over sinking ship wasn't an easy job, mind you. The previous owners had installed traps, automated defenses all over the raft. Cad had hands full of those for a month. What kind of traps? Usual stuff, explosives, pop turrets, the kind of thing. Cad and his sister Yasmin took care of most of it without too much trouble. The biggest problems were the scuttling charges. The runners who built the raft had installed these explosives all along the perimeter that'll rip the bottom of the thing if they ever seized by the police. The explosives were tricky to deal with. Cad was able to disarm them, but he had to leave them where they were. It was always just slightly uncomfortable knowing that he was sleeping atop a couple of 100 pounds of dormant explosives. Can't blame me there. Shrugs. Yeah, like I said, I was free. They weren't really even able to follow, suited me fine. Melvina was sort of leader of our little nest, but we never really listened to her. She was always trying to play mom card. It's a little sense of responsibility into us. It was cute. She did have propensity for getting things done, though. I had to give her that. Anyway, after a few months, other people started showing up. Squatters, homeless people, Shadowrunners, assorted crazies. As long as they stayed cool with us, we were cool with them. Eventually it became a community, imagine that. Think you wound up squatting on the bolt hole because of your time on the sinking ship? I don't know, maybe. I've really thought about it before, but yeah, maybe. I guess I'm a water rat now. Come back to it later. Oh no, Gobbit. Seattle, I'm sorry for this lesson, a little bit unfocused. I don't actually hear what came over me. Happens to the best of us. Well, I still feel bad about it, so look. I'll make you a deal. Your next lesson will definitely be a point. I'll tell you that it's up front. No more question and answer sessions. How's that sound? I'm ready to go, but see you next time. Next time, Gadget. Next time. Alright, folks. And speaking of next time, I guess that's all I have planned for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Excalibur Forge. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, TikTok, and Patreon. And who knows where else. Give me a like, maybe sub, and comment if you have something to say. My ears are open. And have an awesome time wherever you are. Bye-bye for now.